All right, now we're rocking. Randall, Stewart, DecentEXPOsure channel. Check us out on YouTube and the Instagrams. Make sure you do that. We are at Build 2025 at the DJI booth with my good buddy who shares my name, different spelling, Stewart. Stewart, I'm hoping you can walk me through a few of the products here on this table, and then we're going to move a little bit even too. But let's start with the one we're using that you're here, seeing us from on the 4D, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. So this is the Ronin 4D 8K. We actually have the Cook SP3 lens on it. This is the lens that was used on the Adolescent show on Netflix.
Nice.
Really popular. Also, probably the newest accessory for the Ronin 4D is the remote expansion plate, which you can kind of see here.
Yeah.
So that'll give you 2 XLR in, it'll give you SDI out, and then a BNC port for jamming time code. So I mean, like, even though the Ronin 4D generally has been out for, since 2021, I think, a lot of people haven't had a chance to experience it. So we've had so many people coming in, so we have, this is kind of the standard configuration, but we also here have the flex cable, if you wanted to remove the head from the body. That could be to make a lighter system, like this is obviously much lighter than this kind of bigger one, but you do lose the 4th axis. Or if you were going to like mount it somewhere, you can see this is basically the tiniest little remote head you could possibly use. And then all of these, you can have 2 devices that are paired for like a full control, so if you want to control your camera settings, control like the gimbal, and then you can see, for your focus puller, they could be using this, so this, and the lens is actually calibrated with the LiDAR so that it has autofocus. So it's a manual lens, but you can autofocus, a manual lens.
With LiDAR, so we can basically drive that down the street, no hands on the wheel.
Sure.
not jokes about car
like
stuff.
Walter,
like Walter behind the, shout out to Walter behind the camera. So tell me about how that transmits. Is that a 5.1 to 5.8 for the wireless?
2.4 and 5.8, and so like you can see there's little it's like a modular system, right? So the transmission is sort of sandwiched in.
Nice.
But then like right over here, this is the standalone video transmitter. So same technology, but then this you could use with any camera. So like we have something on a gimbal over there, connected to like a Sony camera. And then this receiver you could pair if you didn't want to be using our monitor.
Right.
So we
bigger monitor.
Right. We try to give you a lot of options as far as how you want to use it, whether you're just solo shooter and you want the camera to do everything, or you want to separate things out. You want your operator, your focus puller, all that kind of stuff.
So on the standalones, do you know what those run price wise? Are you privy to that, or okay?
No, $2,500 if you're going to get either the kind of 1-to-1 or the monitor and the transmitter. And then this is the SDR transmission. So this is more for like smaller mid-range productions. So that's only $549. So people love the size, and these will work with our gimbals as well. There really isn't much smaller. I'm seeing a ton of these on set as like for a director's monitor, because these also will attach to like a tablet or a phone, which this one will not. So, I feel like so many sets you see now, a director, has a little tablet in front of them instead of a traditional monitor. So those are great for that.
And on the monitoring on that's through your own app? That's a DJI app?
Yeah. Exactly. Through the Ronin app.
Yeah.
And then, but then there's the SDI, HDMI, for both of these.
Yeah. And I, correct me if I'm wrong, but did I see something like 10,000 or almost 2 miles on those things?
Yeah,
right?
10,000 feet for these, 20,000 feet for them. And that's like obviously perfect conditions.
Of course.
But let me keep it in here, we've had 0 problems with the transmission so far.
Yeah. And as a guy who used to run for companies and different expos, trust me, these are probably the hardest spots you're going to get in the most areas, right?
Yeah, no, that's right. And like, we've built our transmission technology with our drones. Yeah. And so I would say there's a few that could beat the range and penetration of our systems.
Yeah. No, I agreed.